If I am to believe my almanac, my adorable friend, you have only been absent for 2 days, but my heart says it is 2 centuries. Now, however much you consult your lawyers, they will not find you any justification for leaving your friend so far from you. And anyways, reasons are not sufficient responses to sentiments. Now, reason tells me I should lose the habit of always thinking about you. And I assure you, nothing here would recall you to my mind. Now, our prettiest women still give only the very faint idea of you. And unfortunately, when the days are so long and I am without occupation, I dream. I make castles in Spain. I create my fantasy. I bring together everything that can please, and at last I reach perfection, and I'm amazed to find I have only been thinking of you. I began to write you because I had 100 things to say to you, of which you were not the object, and yet I have been distracted from them. Oh, since when does the charm of friendship distract from that of love? Why are you not here to bring me back when I wander and to talk to me of my Cecile, to increase, if that's even possible, the happiness I feel in loving her by the idea that it is your friend I love? It gives me such pleasure to open my heart to you and to occupy yours with my feelings. It seems then to me that I look at you and I say to myself, it is in her that all my happiness is enclosed. I have nothing new to tell you about my situation. I do not know when this cruel separation is to end. I know she loves me with all her soul, but I fear it does not burn like mine. The last letter I received from her assures my hope, even if she must marry Monsieur de Jaucourt, but still delays my happiness. But her motives are so tender and so virtuous, I cannot blame her. Why are you not here? Although one says everything to a friend, one dares not write everything, especially secrets of love. Come back. Forget the 1,000 reasons which detain you where you are, or teach me how to live away from you.
I have received your letter, my too young friend. But is this flattery the style of friendship? Come, write what you are thinking and feeling, not phrases I could find in the nearest romance novel. You might as well ask anyone to believe something like, your most humble servant. I hope you will tolerate my ill humor. To avoid the fault I reproach you with, I shall not say that this ill humor is perhaps a little increased by my absence from you. Taking it all around, it seems to me that your company is preferable to my lawyers, and perhaps even to the attentive Belleroche. You see that. You ought to be glad of my absence, for I have never paid you so fine a compliment. It is very delightful to have a young friend whose heart is occupied elsewhere, and you are quite right to have patience with Cecile. You men have no idea what virtue is and what it costs to sacrifice it. I cannot imagine how any woman could allow herself to risk this misfortune if she only takes a moment to reflect. Do not argue, for it is this thought that principally attaches me to you. You will save me from the dangers of love. And now, my dear Chevalier, I pray to God to have you in his holy and lofty care.
Be calm. My nephew is not in danger. It can't even be said that he is really ill. But there is surely something extraordinary passing within him. I met him this morning where I hardly expected it, in my chapel. I learned that for the last 4 days he has gone there regularly to hear Mass. God grant that this lasts. Afterwards, I went to find out the cause of this singular change, in which I believe you may have had some part. I found him writing, surrounded with piles of paper. He was so absorbed that I was in the middle of his room before he had even turned his head. I thought him pale and wasted, and above all, downcast and sad. But I began the conversation as if I had noticed nothing. He told me that perhaps business, the most important business of his life, would soon recall him to Paris. I can't recall what exactly I replied, but he grasped my hands and, speaking with a vehemence I cannot convey, said, "Do not feel distressed for me. Only tell me that you love me, that you forgive me. I know your goodness, but how can I hope for the same indulgence from those I have offended? The more I reflect upon it, the less I can guess what he meant. What is this business, the most important of his life? Why did he ask my pardon? What was the cause of this emotion? I have asked myself these questions 1,000 times. Goodbye, my dear beauty."
I have received, Monsieur le Vicomte, the letter with which you honor me, and yesterday I went to the person in question. I found her at first attached to the wise course she had first adopted. However, upon my informing her of your resolutions, and pointing out that her refusal might place an obstacle to the happy conversion that she herself inspired, and thus, as it were, opposing the merciful intentions of Providence, she has consented to receive your visit, on condition that it is the last. You will be able to confide into her hands the papers you speak of, as the first step in the still more important reconciliation which you desire, and of which I thank Heaven for allowing me to be the agent. The God that calls you back to him can do everything. And it is with his aid that I hope soon to convince you that only our holy religion can give, even in this world, the solid and durable happiness we vainly search for in the blindness of human passions.
Monsieur de Valmont is now concerned neither with me nor with his love, and only desires to repair by a more edifying life the errors of his youth. I was informed of this great event by Father Anselme, to whom he applied for direction in the future, and also to procure him an interview with me, the principal object of which, I think, is to return my letters to me. Doubtless I cannot but applaud this happy change. But why should Monsieur de Valmont's happiness only come through my misfortune? While I ceaselessly ask God in vain for strength to overcome my unhappy love, he squanders it upon one who did not ask for it. I will overcome this rebellious heart. I will accustom myself to humiliations. It is with the special purpose of achieving this that I have consented to receive Monsieur de Valmont on Thursday next. There, I shall hear him tell me that I am nothing to him. The same letters to which he once clung, in spite of my repeated requests, he will return to me as useless objects, which no longer interest him. And then I shall see him go away, forever. This visit troubles me. I regret having promised it. Why does he need to see me again? Is not the most urgent matter for us to each forget the other? If you permit it, my amiable friend, I shall come stay with you immediately when he has left. Supported by your precious friendship, I will occupy myself with the difficult labor of forgetting.